gonna say, we can always go back to it.
That's fine.
Because you see a lot of our videos, you can tell that they stopped it, and then
Yeah.
like doing this, okay, you started filling it. Okay, when it's done filling, you know, they try to kill some of the dead time space.
Yep.
So right now we are getting real close when this thing's going to start coming fluid out the bottom. You have to realize this holds probably a little bit more than a quart, so
Yep.
if you've got it full, by the time it gets all the way down, it may already start being running out.
Yeah. So all we've done, we opened this up while we were pouring the filling up the machine. We kept this one closed and we opened this one up. right
Correct.
here. This one, okay.
And then that way you can shoot your video. I would say any second it should be coming out.
Yep, that's it.
That's it?
Yep.
So it's coming out now?
Yep.
So what I would suggest is to let this go ahead and settle down.
Okay.
Because that's new fluid down there anyway.
Right.
And probably take that fresh brand new fluid and get a funnel and just pour it back here, seal it up. That way,
Is it the same grade?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What was in there was that other full synthetic.
Right, full synthetic.
So yeah,
The-
the thing of it is with our full synthetic, it mixes and blends with other full synthetic
Very good.
fluids.
Okay.
So it's not going to harm anything.
Good.
So I mean, we could close it off, but this thing still has some in it.
It's done now.
Actually, we're gonna have to shut it off, otherwise we're gonna be leaking on the floor.
So we shut this down. Okay.
Yeah, you shut this down, you shut that down.
This one right here?
Yep. you
Okay,
have to-
we
you have
close
to
it.
Close everything when we're doing the flush.
Yeah.
Everything has to be closed.
Closed. Okay.
Okay. At that point, you put the lid back on,
Okay.
just for safety factors of getting nothing in there.
Sure.
Okay, we're just gonna put this for here now. It feels like it's completely empty, but I would suggest taking that, pouring it in here so you have a nice safe container to
Sure.
store it in. Okay, so at this point, we're gonna hook up to the car. Tam, if you wanna find out where the connection is, it's
Right
just
here.
a hose. It's
Right
just a
here.
hose connection.
Either one.
Okay. So we're just gonna, that's gonna be a real easy
This
hookup.
This one easy.
Probably.
Take one out.
Probably 5/16.
This one. And one and another one. You drop inside the tank already.
Yeah, but we can use this one.
We're gonna have to fish that one out,
Yeah,
huh?
somebody got a big magnet.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, if you can't fish it out, we'll have to figure out which one it is. I'll get you.
Okay.
That's why I try to, like you said, use that big one. That's probably the better thing to do. It's less likely to do what I
You
did.
got more grip.
Yeah. Now
The
what?
old one-
Now what some people
Some
will
of
do?
them, the old one is about this big.
Yeah, some of the real old
Yeah.
machines. Yeah. Now what some people will do is if you had a metal tank,
Yeah.
we actually.
No, one only. One only.
Only?
Only one.
Yeah. Yeah, only one.
So we only hook up on one machine?
Only on one side.
One
Okay.
size.
Yeah, one side only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put this all the way in and put the whole plant back.
You have to realize the Toyotas, most of them have low pressure,
Okay.
so you don't have to, as long as it's got a good clamp and the fitting's nice and tight, you don't have to worry about anything leaking or popping it off.
Yeah.
And
So now,
Bring the whole plant up.
okay. So now the machine.
don't have to
will
go
hook up
all the way
one on
in.
each, right?
That's fine.
yeah, you just disconnect one line
And then-
you hook the machine goes to one side
Okay.
and then the other side. You're just basically tying in
Okay.
to finish closing the loop
Right.
through the machine.
Exactly.
And then when you do the process,
Okay.
it basically comes in one hose and comes out fresh on the other
Other
side, and
hose.
it's just pushing it through the system, going back to the transmission, taking all the fluid out of the converter and getting it clean. That's the main thing, because the torque converter is where most of the nasty fluid is at.
I see. Okay.
And that's what you want to get rid of, is the fluid that's in the torque converter.
Perfect.
Doing a pan drop does not do that.
Right. So Alex, you put the first one already. Now you're putting the second one, right?
Yeah.
Now, has this motor been warmed up yet?
No, not yet.
Does the car have to be warmed up?
You want to run it probably till the thermostat opens,
Okay.
or until the temperature gauge gets to kind of normal operating. because the cleaner works better once it's heat activated. It
Right.
cleans better once it's warm.
Right.
Usually I think at 140 degrees is where it starts working better.
Okay. So now we have two different ones, right? One coming out, a male and a female.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now, you're gonna put the machine. Doesn't matter which
Doesn't
side?
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Either side is going to be the same.
Okay.
The machine has an auto correct inside to the
Okay.
flow direction.
Okay, good.
Even if it's hooked up to the wrong side, it automatically corrects the side.
Yeah.
And you do have to realize we do have 90-degree couplers that you can hook in a real tight spot. There is
Okay.
90-degree fittings
Okay,
in
very
here
good.
also.
Very good.
So at this point, we can start the car.
Okay, Alex, you want to start the car, please?
You
You
want
want
to
to get the transmission?
you want to make sure that it is in bypass,
Okay.
because what it's doing is it's just circulating the car.
Correct.
And in this machine, so you can see how much flow you have, and that way let your cleaner do its job.
So what are we doing at this point?
We're at this point, we're gonna install the cleaner,
Okay.
and we're gonna let it do its job,
Okay.
which is clean. And then at that point, this one actually has pretty good pressure.
Okay.
The fluid is very dark,
Okay.
so
Wow.
it's really dark, but that's good. When we're done, it's gonna be looking like brand new,
Wow.
and that's what you want. So it's right now it's flowing probably right at about it's gallons per minute. So it's just under, right in the middle of that is where you kind of gauge it. So it's just under a gallon per minute. Well, we're transfusing 16 quarts, which is 4 gallons. So you're talking about 6-7 minutes maybe,
Okay.
once it does the complete thing.
Okay, so
We're gonna install the cleaner first,
Okay.
and then let it run for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then after that's done, then we would turn this button to purge or process.
Okay.
Process means it's exchanging the old for the new.
Okay. So now at this point,
We're gonna put cleaner in.
No, but at this point we're just using the old fluid that's in the car
Correct.
to circulate it.
Correct.
So now, since it's bypass, we're not using the new fluid yet.
Correct.
So now we're gonna put Tim
Cleaner
is
in.
gonna put the cleaner in there,
Correct.
and then the cleaner is gonna run along with the old fluid
Correct.
to make sure it's
What
gotten in
the
system.
cleaner is going to do,
And he puts it into the transmission, right? Direct into the transmission. How many bottles?
just one can
Okay.
is good up to 16 quarts.
Okay, I see.
So what the cleaner does is it cleans and removes varnish, any kind of sludge or anything like that that's in the transmission. It suspends it with the fluid so it'll come out.
I see.
Even if there's a filter in the machine,
Okay.
or in the transmission, excuse me, it will clean the filter. In other words, dissolve and dissolve it into the fluid. So when we do the transfusion, you're getting all that stuff out.
Out, absolutely.
And that way you got the fresh in there.
Very good. Now this is pretty dark, huh?
Yeah, that's real dark.
Okay, so now here, the machine in here, that pin is...
Yeah, here, let me get my light. Yeah, it's going to be down,
Okay,
which is what you want.
okay,
That means all the new fluid's up here, and there's nothing on the bottom.
okay.
When
so
you,
is
when
it...
you do the process,
Right, but it's not all the way up. I don't see the pin, I just see fluid.
yeah, there's just a little fluid there.
Okay, I see.
And the pin won't come up until we've done the transfusion and it's completed with the service.
Okay,
The last couple of quarts is when the pin starts moving.
I see. Okay,
Because
good enough.
prior to that, you just got fluid moving up.
Okay,
And then at the very end, I don't know how it's actually designed in there, but it's just a thing pushing up on it.
okay,
So then once the bladder is all the way to the top, then it pushes that little pintle up.
good. So now he's hitting gas.
So right now, if you're looking at the pressure,
Yeah.
we're pretty much the same on both sides, around 10 pounds, which is okay.
Yeah,
It's okay to put it in gear and give it a little gas because it builds up a little bit more pressure, a little bit more heat. That way, we're circulating the fluid better. We're running it through the gears. You want to run it through all the gears so the cleaner goes through the valve body.
I see.
You want to make sure the valve body's clean because that's where a lot of the varnish builds up and then causes issues on hardship and those type things that are bad for the transmission. So as he's doing that, you can see this thing moving, but as we see the fluid is very dark.
Okay.
And so we just want to let it run for 15 minutes, and
So at what...
he can just let it idle. It doesn't have to be revved up or
Okay.
anything because we have pressure. It's moving it pretty good. Right now we're circulating at almost a gallon per minute, so that's not an issue.
So at what point do we say, okay, we cannot do a transmission flush on the car because it's going to hurt the car?
if the car already had a problem with the transmission slipping, fluid was like completely burnt. If you pulled the dipstick out and the fluid smelled like it was burnt, like it smelled like acid buildup,
Yeah.
you know, the burnt smell of acid. At that point, doing the flush could possibly cause issues.
Okay.
Personally, myself, I would kind of, yeah, just kind of, you know, you're flipping a coin. We're not saying doing the flush would hurt it, but it may not help it any, and you just wasted the money of the fluid and stuff. And it possibly could cause an issue with the transmission after that. I have
All
seen
right,
that
I'm
happen.
gonna stop this video now because now it's just waiting.
Yeah,
on
we're
this
just waiting
machine.
time, right?
So part 2 will be transferring the
Doing the transfusion.
transfusion.